What's going on YouTube? It's Brazen back here with another video for you guys. If you guys are enjoying the content, if you guys want to hit a like down below, subscribe if you guys are new here, and leave a comment letting me know you subscribe so I can welcome you to the family. And that being said, cue intro. What's going on YouTube, and welcome back to another Madden 20 video for you guys. Here today I'm going to be going over best items to spend your candy on. So I tried to break this down as good as I could. What I did is I calculated it based off of how much it would cost for a grand egg, and to get 21,600 candy, which is a grand egg, you would need a 96 overall player as well as a 89 overall player from obviously the Color Smash promo. So I went ahead and what I did is I went program 96 and I calculated off of the prices I saw. Obviously they do change, but right here it's about 160,000 for a 96, plus you need an 89 like I said. So it was about 20,000 for a 89, which they're somewhere on here. I checked it on Mutthead as well just to compare prices, but if you find the 89s, they will go for about 20,000. You can see right here, 19,000. So it's about 180,000 to buy a grand egg. So what I wanted to go over is I wanted to rank the eggs based off of how much each egg you buy would have to cost to make your money back. And then I want to go over letters and then the best sets to complete as well. So we're going to go over the eggs first. So like I said, I based this off of how much it costs to get one grand egg. So we know it costs about 180,000 to get a grand egg. What we want to do is go to the store and show you the prices and which order I think they're best in. So here are the 4 eggs. So we based it off of, like I said, one grand egg would cost about 21,600, or it would cost that much candy, which comes out to about 180,000. So if you were to buy 10 medium eggs instead, you can buy 10 medium eggs, which would be basically go into the grand eggs, and you would be done. 10 medium eggs, they would have to be 18,000 each to go ahead and break even. Based off of the random big egg, it would have to cost about 105,000 to go ahead and make your money back on a big egg. And then for a small egg, it would have to be about 7,000. So what do I think some of these eggs will go for based off of what they look like? I think a random big egg or random grand egg, I think there's definitely a chance to make your coins back. I think they will be flooding the market, so a lot of these cards will drop in my opinion. But I would still rank the grand egg number 1, just because if they are generous enough to go ahead and give us a crazy good card, it might end up being pretty good if you get the right ones. Like I said, pretty much I think you won't lose too much off the grand eggs if you do pay for them. But I don't think there's also... maybe there's one egg that will make you like a ton of profit. Some of them might make you a little bit of profit. I did show you with the theme builders and things like that, and the team MVPs, that there is some profit in them. Second for the eggs, I think, is medium. And the reason I think medium is because you get 10 chances if you buy 10 medium eggs. The reason I think that could be good is I think there might be decent programs in there. I think they might give us on the medium eggs like some Football Outsiders, some cards that aren't that good overall, but maybe there's some of them that go for a lot. So not necessarily just Football Outsiders, although some of them will go for a decent amount because they go into sets. But, heavyweights are other ones that I think could be what they give us. I think that, there's a lot of programs that they might give us in these like heavyweights and things like that. And obviously not all of them are going to cost enough to make 18,000 back, but there is going to be some that you do put into sets that maybe will cost more. And like I said, it costs about 18,000 to buy a medium egg, 18,000 coins basically to buy that medium egg. So 18,000 coins. And it's going to be mid-level programs, but they could surprise us. The reason I think it's good is because they could surprise us with these medium eggs and maybe give us some low 90s. And even some of the programs do have lower 90 overall cards that are going to go for a lot. So let's say they do have like heavyweights in there. You might get one that goes for 29,000. You might get them that go for a decent amount. It's kind of hard to say because they haven't came out and said exactly what is in each egg. Obviously, it's supposed to be a surprise, but that's why I have it coming up second. Third is small, because small, I think it'll be elite players. But I think it might be like team of the week. We do see a green egg, so I definitely think that's team of the week. I don't know what the limit will be, but team of the week cards definitely go for a little bit more. Not these 81s, obviously, but some of them that go into sets around like the 87, 88 range sometimes can go for a decent amount. And I do think that basically if you got like an 86, it looks like you would basically make a little bit of coins because it cost about 7,200 coins. So that could be third up in my opinion. And then the big egg, the reason I have it coming in fourth is it's going to cost you 12,600. So I think you're going to have to make about 100,000 coins. Just based off of that's how much it would cost to go ahead and get it. So 100,000 coins, you're going to have to get a pretty good overall. Like not even 92, 93s probably. You're going to have to get like a 94, 95. And even that, it would have to be a good pull. So I don't think a big egg. So it would have to be like a 94 to go ahead and break even on the big eggs. And I don't know if the big eggs are going to give us 94, because if the grand eggs, let's say, are 96 plus or 95 plus is what you can pull, the big eggs are probably going to be like 92 pluses. So I think there's a lot of room to lose a lot of coins there. Not as much room to lose with the medium and small eggs. So that's why I went ahead and put that in the egg order. And the eggs are hard to compare to anything else like the letters or the sets, just because obviously we don't know what's in the eggs. So it's kind of its own thing. My personal opinion is I'm going to buy the eggs as well as complete the sets, but that's because I advise doing the letters challenges to go ahead and get as many as you can. But I do want to go over which letters are best to buy. So based off of, if you had 21,600 candy, the same that you would have for to buy a grand egg, if you were to buy letters instead, you could obviously buy a lot more letters, but what price would you need? So to get the OLM, the letters would have to come out to about 16,000 to go ahead and make sense. And I will go over these prices in the auction house and show you which ones are the best. BYCN, they would have to cost about 25,700 each to go ahead and break even at that 180,000 mark. And then the URKs, which are the most expensive, would have to go for about 40,000 to go ahead and break even once again. So if we go check them out in the auction house, the letters, honestly, to put it in like layman's terms or however you want to say it, the letters aren't really that great right now. Obviously, if you just wanted to cash out instead of getting, basically if you wanted to cash out, the best ones to be would be the URKs and then the BYCN. So we see these are all going for about 12 to 15,000 right now, and we said you would need about 16,000 on these letters to go ahead and break even at that 180,000 mark for the candy that you put into it if you were to do it in that way. So it's not a terrible way. You will lose a couple thousand, like I said, on these letters. It's definitely better to do the mid-level and the high-level letter. So the mid-level, we're going to click the letter B just because we know that shows up. So we said it needs to be about 25,000, and these ones are going for about 25,000. Now, the thing is, like I said, since it costs about 25,000, you would basically be breaking even. So if you were to basically buy as many letters as 21,000 candy as you could, you would make about 180,000 off of it. So it is good money, obviously, but nothing crazy. You would basically, in my opinion, be just the same off with getting a grand egg, hit or miss, just because grand eggs do have a lot of risk, but also some reward depending on what the rewards are. And then the the URKs, which are the highest, and I think you should show up. They go for anywhere about 36 to 40,000. I think K's were going for about 40,000. So actually someone's dropping a couple lower than that. And you need them to cost about 40,000 each, because 4,500 candy to get them, you'd only be able to get like 4, in that. So 4 times that would be about 160,000 at 40,000 each. So they would basically break even once again, just a little bit lower. Like I said, the letters are just like a way to cash out if you don't want a lot of risk, but they're not necessarily like good coin making per your candy. I think that it's best just to go with the eggs. And then to go with the sets as well, the way, like I said, to advise it is do the Color Smash Jamboree, which is and do the word scrambles. It's going to be on the bottom for me just because I have already finished it. So the Color Smash Jamboree, do the word scrambles in there to get the letters, because if you can do them for free, which is what I'm doing, then it's definitely worth it, obviously. But if you were to pay full price for them, theoretically in the candy terms, So if we go to the color smash sets, the best one in my opinion is the color set, and that is because to go ahead and complete the color set, it's going to cost you 13,000 candy, a 96 overall. This is NAT, so to quick sell it, you would lose, but as a 96 overall card, it's worth about 180,000, and you'd only spend about 10,000, which is like 90,000 worth. So you would basically double your coins by doing this, but you're going to have to use this card in either a set or something like that to make it worthwhile, or just use it on your team. If it's a card you can use on your team, then it would also be beneficial as well. Second on the list, I think, is Bunny, and the reason is it's going to cost you about 16,000 candy to go ahead and complete this, but you get either a big or a grand egg. So we know a big egg, most likely they'll be anywhere from like 50,000 up. But if you do get a grand egg out of here, I think it's actually better, because then basically you spent 16,000 candy, which we know is not as much as a grand egg. So if you get a big egg, you basically spend 4,000 more than you would for a big egg. But if you get a grand egg, you would spend about 4,000 to 5,000 less. So I think that one's the second best, just because, like I said, the eggs could be very good. We really don't know. It's not a repeatable set, so that does help with not being as many eggs. Third, the best one is Lucky, in my opinion. It cost about 16,000. Training, once again, if you get a 93, obviously it's going to be bad. But if you can get a 96, you will make, like 3,000 candy. So it could be good. Obviously, like I said, these ones, it's not that I'm just ranking them in the order. I'm not necessarily saying this is a good set to do. Personally, I'm just going to grind out all the letters from the challenges and then go ahead and do it that way, because if you get them for free, obviously it makes a lot of sense. And then Bloom is the worst one in my opinion, because a 91 pretty much doesn't go for much, and it still costs you 10,000 candy to complete this set. So that's just my opinion. So to keep it basically short, or try to sum it up as quick as possible, I'm just going to go back to the store so I can show you that way. So visually you guys can kind of see what I'm scrolling over. So basically what there is to do, if you're going to spend 180,000 and you're going to get, let's just say you don't have candy but you want to spend coins to get candy. Random eggs, you have a big hit or miss. Small eggs and medium eggs, I think you have the most room for like getting decent cards. Like I said, you can get a lot of maybe high overall team of the weeks that go for more than 7k each. And same thing for mediums with what they're worth. I don't think big eggs are really worth it, in my opinion. You might as well either just buy grand eggs or go down to the mediums, because you're not going to get anything like, I don't think you'll get a full ultimate legend in the big eggs, but I could be completely wrong. Obviously, you can take risk with whatever you want to do. If you want to just cash out your candy and take coins, URK, and then the middle ones will be the best in that order, and then the OLMs are the worst. So in that order, pay the most candy if you could. So theoretically, if I didn't want to buy eggs, but I wanted to spend my 58,000 candy, I would buy as many URKs as I can to sell them, then buy the BYCNs and then the OLMs in that order. And then set-wise, really none of the sets are worth it. I think color and then the bunny, which is the bigger, and the NAT 96 and then the big or grand egg, those are the only two I would maybe pay for. If it did come to that, just because a 96 overall player could be very useful for your team. And then also if you wanted to get the big or grand egg, if you were to get a grand egg, it's obviously worth 21,000. A big egg is worth 12,600. So, and then the other two are really not that good. If you do have to pay for them, I would just go ahead and do those sets if you can for free. But if you can't, I wouldn't even worry about them. And then obviously random players, the 96 overall, you lose 2,000 candy, so that's really not worth it. These random ones, if you get the top player, obviously it's worth it. Same thing with the egg. If you were to get a big or grand egg, it's worth it, but if you get a small or a medium egg, you're going to lose. So randoms, I don't really put in there because that's going to be a hit or miss. Definitely let me know with any questions down below. Hopefully this did explain it a little bit better. It's kind of confusing trying to compare something like an egg where we don't really have a value on to compare to something we do have value on. So that's why I try to do it in the best and keep them separate. So if you want to buy eggs, this is what you do. If you want to buy letters, this is what you do, things like that. That being said, drop a like on the video if it did help you out. Subscribe, turn on that post notification bell. And as always, I will see you next time.